Okay, guys, today I am super excited because we are joined with one of literally my favorite people in the world. He's not only a one-man empire, but he is part of the fellowship community as well, which is absolutely fucking awesome. So today we have with us the legend that is AJ, the swinger of Chisels. AJ, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Charlie. Thank you very much. Yes, it's not that cold here today because I'm sat in my nice warm office while everyone else is doing the work in the cold.
That is what you want. Everyone else doing the stuff for you, AJ, which is awesome. So, AJ, why didn't you give everyone the swinger of Chisel sort of alludes to what you've got going on there, but let everyone know what it is that you do and how you help people and all that sort of stuff, my friend. Let's have a quick introduction from your side.
Well, basically, what I do is I turn pieces of trees into stunning pieces of furniture. So we create or we handcraft, all bespoke, all by hand. We don't use the computer-controlled type machines. Farmhouse tables, chairs, beds, sideboards, anything that you want that's farmhousey looking, country looking, painted or not, I craft them bespoke.
And they look fucking amazing, don't
Thank you.
they? Cock on. So AJ, you said we there, AJ. Talk us through the setup of the business because it's not just you there, is it? You've got people working with you in the workshop. So what's the setup look like and all that?
The setup's looking pretty cool. Obviously, it was smaller. We've expanded a little bit now. We've got a new team member coming next week as well. But the Simon, who used to work for me a few years back, he's a German and Welsh guy. Yes, work that one out. But he's doing a lot of the crafting now for me. And then a gal called Sugar, she's on board. She is what I now call creative personal assistant. She does some of the waxing as well. She does a lot of the drawings as well as I bounce a lot of the ideas for the creative marketing off as well. And the new guy will be someone that is in the workshop and drives as well, so delivers some of the furniture because I deliver nationally. And the old driver that I used to have, I cannot get in contact anymore. I think, unfortunately, his wife's died, and I think it's sent him out a bit quickly. But I can't get hold of him. I've seen someone else driving his car. He's got a very distinctive car. You can't miss it. It's full of chrome. It's a rare American beast. And there's now a young woman driving it, one of his daughters. So I think the unfortunate has happened there.
Oh, that sucks. And I'm kind of curious. Well, I'm not curious, AJ, because I know the answer, but I'm sure people listening to this will. But you said Simon used to work with before, because this isn't your first rodeo, is it? Talk us through, because you've built and scaled like an epic business in the past, and talk us through some of that, AJ.
It does, yeah. I'm one of these people that you can't really tell what to do. If someone tells me what to do, I kind of do the opposite. I hate it. So I've always worked for myself. I've had a couple of jobs in before, and in the upcoming book, you can read a bit of story about one of my old coming jobs. And in the end, I just quit and walked out because they were idiots. I've always had businesses, and I've always had a passion for wood. And I built a business up a few years back, and I used to have an old Victorian morgue. Now, but what I mean by that is it was a workshop, a very tall building, but all the floors sloped into the middle, and there was a nice big blood drain in the centre of it, in the sort of morgue, and past. It was quite an interesting Victorian place anyway. So I set up I moved into there with my business anyway, and I met a guy called Nick, and we kind of saw a niche in the market, and he was a plumber, so we had no idea on how to make these tables, and he was making these tables in stupid ways. I was like, come here, Nick, this is how you do it properly. And we set up a business. This was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And this business, we probably hit it at the right time, to be fair, because the trend of these tables had just started. We started on eBay. We're selling these tables at something stupid like 300 quid, turning a very, very small profit because of the nature of it. But I had another business, so I didn't care anyway. A couple of years in, he decided that we were going to go big and we're going to do it properly.
Yeah.
And from there, I turned this 24,000k business per year in the first year. I took it to, I think it was 160,000.
Wow.
Based on some marketing stuff I did. Now I've done a few courses in marketing, diploma and stuff like that. I'm always eager to learn. I love that kind of stuff. In the end, I think 1 year we did just under 500,000. And in the last year of trading, we did 380,000, and we carved out our place to be the market leader for farmhouse tables. Probably what that business did was farmhouse tables and chairs.
Wow.
Yeah, we made it to. We knocked all our competitors off the spot.
Fucking phenomenal growth. And what do you think, AJ? What do you think was the catalyst there in that side of things in terms of being able to be like, right, we can go from 24 to 500,000? Like, what was what was a big thing there that you think that made the difference?
The big difference thing really was, a big bit was price point. Like I said at first, we were selling these tables for £300 on eBay, but now I'm selling tables for £1,000 plus.
Yeah.
Size, obviously. And that's what we did. We got the marketing right. In that sense, we managed to be at scale of the business. We was lucky enough that the units around us were all slightly bigger. And when they come up, I'm always talking to people, always getting in front of people, because that's how you do it. Got a big network of people I can speak to. And the centre manager, this guy, come to me and said, we've got this workshop, it's quite big, it's quite expensive, but what can you do with it? And I said, I'm not taking this, let's do it. So we took this unit on, it was 500 square foot, 5,000 square foot. And from there, we thought, we've got to now make sure that we can pay this overhead each big one. So yeah, we hit it with the marketing. We made sure that we were spending a little bit more on the Facebook side of it. Was making sure the products went out was of quality and not just something that had been sprayed. I tell you what, this new guy was spraying one of these tables once in a banana yellow, and my missus turned up with a pram. Pram into this workshop, and he's not in any kind of booth at all. He's just ready to go. And my missus pulled the pram out, turned around to me with a face, and she says, "My pram's now yellow." But yeah, we set up the business properly, and what I mean by properly is we professionalise everything. We looked at every single area and said, well, how can we make sure this area is more efficient and more professional, so the product does come out and the product speaks for itself. Because that's a big thing. The product needs to speak for itself. Yes, and that's what we did. We made sure the product speaks for itself. We did a lot of Facebook campaigns. We did a bit of AdWord campaign, and word of mouth took over, and you know, we had a following of 44,000, I think it was, on Facebook.
Man, that's amazing. And talk me through, AJ. So I mean, people come and ask me, or we have conversation with people, and they'll be like, "Man, I can't like increase my prices. Like, there's only so much elasticity in the market." And you went from like 300 almost to, well, at least 3 times that, if not 4 times that. Like, how did you, in your mind, how did you get over that belief in terms of like, fuck, can we really get away with charging this amount of money for these tables? How did you justify and work that out in your head?
Market research, it's a big thing. Know about your competitors. Now, it's something I've always done. I do it now. I'm friendly, and these competitors don't even know I am a competitor with them. Yeah. And just look at their prices, look at what they're doing, and make sure that you offer or perceive to offer something that is better than what they do. That's exactly what I did. I just made sure that what we could offer was better, it was bigger, and it was the value of it was perceived slightly better. Now, we weren't the most expensive one in the market. Yeah. We definitely weren't the cheapest. The most expensive kind of outpriced himself, and he's still going today, but he's the turnover that he was doing because of that.
It's fucking awesome. That I love it. I love it when people bump up prices like that, and people still say yes, and then you bump them up again, and people still say yes, and you bump them up again, and they're still saying this shit like, fuck, I should have been at this price beforehand. Think of all the money I've lost because I've had my underpriced stuff beforehand. It's crazy how that goes, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah. And I still do it now. I'll still put a couple of extra quid on each order every now and again and just see what I can get away with. And it still amazes me now. Last year I was charging, I could say I was charging 500 for a particular set. But I thought at the end of the year, let's put the price up. And then beginning of this year, I thought, let's put the price up again. And people just don't blink. Yeah, brilliant, do it. And they pay the money. I was absolutely stunted at one. She called through, and she told me the price that she'd worked out, which was more than the price that I normally sell it at, and she's happy to pay
it. It's fucking brilliant, isn't it? When you get that and you go, man, it helps confirm those suspicions, doesn't it? Which is really, really cool.
It does,
You mentioned a couple of times there, AJ, in terms of like what you're doing now, because that business that you talked about there for different reasons no longer exists, but we've now got the new one that's been. How long have you been running under the new brand, AJ?
Under the new brand, to be honest, I was running the new brand while I was running the other company, but it was very, very low key. It was only like 2 or 3 bits per month, and that was for other reasons that I didn't get on with my business partner in the sense of style. But when the other one went down, obviously I thought, well, I've got this one. I'm going to continue with this one. I'm going to complete the orders and I'm going to smash it. And that's what I did. So we've been going February, March last year. I think I really kicked this into full gear.
And how have you found that, AJ? Because this thing's just fucking gone like gangbusters as well, hasn't it? It's been absolutely crazy. Is that because you've approached it with the same thing, or this time have you been like, right, we did this last time, and now I need to do this different, or I'm going to put this thing in place? What do you think's been the catalyst this time around?
The catalyst this time, really, the big thing is the fellowship. Obviously, that really, really helps. And
cool.
and the help that you guys have given us as well. That is absolutely phenomenal. And it's one of those things where I often think to myself, yeah, I know how to market because I've got, I think it's 3 diplomas in marketing, but
Yeah.
what I actually know and what the truth is now, I don't think I practice anything of what I've learned marketing. You think you know, but you don't. So the biggest catalyst for me this time is, yes, I've done it before. I know it very well. And with that, I've learned a lot. So I've done things a little bit differently this time, especially with the marketing. I think that was the catalyst, getting the marketing on point, putting me as the brand rather than it being a big chain.
Yeah.
Now me, it's AJ is crafting your furniture. Yeah, obviously I've got people in the workshop doing some of the work as well. But that is the big catalyst. It was getting the branding right this time and the marketing right this time, and that is, it's jumped hoops and loops.
Talk about that, AJ, because I think that's something sometimes people get scared of being like, I don't necessarily want to be the face of this, and we've got employees and the logo goes everywhere. So in terms of your stuff, I mean, I know because we've been on this journey with you, but you're at the front of everything. Talk us through some of the videos that you've done and some of the way, some of the funny things that you've done as part of that, which has sort of like got people to engage with you further and built that sort of like that rapport and the affinity with your customers, I suppose. Give us some insight on that.
Well, yeah, the insight of that is don't be afraid to do it because, I'm a bit of an amateur photographer. I like being behind the camera and not in front of it. But, you get over that mindset. And I went on camera for the first time. I think the first time I ever did go on camera, as in a video.
Yeah.
I think at the end of it, I actually edited in a load of bloopers that I did when I was talking in that video. And that alone, them last 20, 30 seconds, it just gave people a good insight onto who I really am, what I'm really like. And it just kept them sticking. I had loads of people turn around and say, I'm waiting for the next video. What's coming next, Dale? And it's great that you can put a face to these things. Sorry. Yeah. My logo now is just me, my face. It's the same face. It's the same backdrop I put on everything there. So in my emails, in my paper marketing, on Facebook, anywhere it is that same picture. So they can still relate to that in a sense of a bit of a logo, but it's a real person. Yeah. And would you rather buy something from a real person than go to, and I get this people saying to me all the time, they'd rather buy from someone that they know it's real, see, rather than a big brand like John Lewis. But some of the crazy stuff in the videos, it's just me being me, jumping around, acting a prat, basically. And doing some shock stuff as well, where people don't expect me to be throwing knives at my furniture while I've done it.
Talk us through, because I saw that the other day on Facebook Live. So talk through that video, AJ, because I'm a big believer when you're doing stuff like these dramatic demonstrations that get people attention. That means that they can't fucking argue with what you're saying. So that knife video is a great example. Talk through what you did there.
So basically on that one, there's 2 different types of timber. Well, sorry, there's loads of different types of timber. The 2 I mainly offer is oak and Scandi. Oak's quite expensive, especially with the EU going our ears. The oak is rocketing through price. And in all honesty, most people don't actually need oak on their tabletops. You ask anyone what 2 species of timber they know of, and they'll both say pine and oak. And then you ask them what's the most toughest timber in the planet, and they'll say oak. Wrong, it's not even the top 10.
Oh, wow.
So this particular video was me explaining that and then proving it by throwing something that's a bit of a hobby of mine, throwing knives at both types of timber and showing how deep these knives go into this timber, repairing them and showing them how easy it is to repair each one. And obviously the knives went into the oak, the knives went into the Scandi just as well as they did into the oak. Yeah. And there was literally no real difference in that sense. Yet with the Scandi wood, I showed them that it's very quick just to repair that and show them the difference between the 2. So hopefully I get less money through the door, but I actually make more profit on the Scandi. So I prefer to make more profit even though money that it's no brainer. So and I've persuaded no end of people to actually take Scandi over oak since I've been preaching it really because of them kind of things. But that's what that video was about, throwing knives at 2 different types of timber to prove that one is no better than the other.
Well, that's fucking awesome though, AJ, because like everything we talk about here with like, oh shit, off the whole one-man empire, like that sort of mentality and that mindset, it's the ability to go where everyone else is going one direction, being like, right, fuck it, renegade it, I'm going over here, I'm doing the complete opposite. And I don't imagine there is anyone else out there in not even the farmhouse but in the furniture thing that's got the brass balls to stand those things up and be like, right, we're going to throw some knives at this, we're going to stand by what we're selling, and we're going to be like, look, this is the real situation. It adds some real confidence, doesn't it, from the customer's perspective?
It does, yeah. No loans. And one of the other things I do, which is a bit of a shock to customers, I sign every single piece of furniture. Technically, even if I haven't made it, I still sign it. And they get the logo sprayed on there as well. It looks pretty cool, actually. If you look under the tables, if you ever get a chance to, you'll see the logo and stuff. In fact, there's a picture of it somewhere. If I'm carrying these in into the house with these people, and they all, oh, look, yeah, you've signed it. Oh, that's and, yeah, it's that kind of mentality. It's that kind of shock. And, yeah, no one else is doing that. No one else is doing these videos where I'm jumping up and down on my bed, showing you that I can't break one of my beds by jumping up and down it.
Yeah.
I'm a 14-stone lump of fat, and, you know, I'm not breaking these beds by jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Them kind of shocks that, that other people haven't got the balls to do it. Other people haven't got the balls to stand there and eat food and jump about and just act. It's just me. I just have to forget the camera's in front of me and I'm doing this on camera. Just be yourself.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's really good, AJ. And I mean, well, I guess on the back of that, one of the things I'm like a huge believer in, or I think trying to help empower people to do, is that we always have this thing in terms of sort of like the business side of things. It's difficult sometimes to sort of like to pull back or take back control as the business is rocking and rolling, and you feel like you get sucked in more and more into. We talk a lot about automation, systemization, all that sort of stuff. And I know that since you've been with us, automating the shit out of a whole load of things. AJ, talk through that, like how you've leveraged some automation in your stuff to take back control, to put some consistency in place, and you've got a crazy one which does like a silly number of actions. Talk us through how you've leveraged that and what sort of impact that's had.
Yeah, I think it's something like 41 automatizations in one or something like that. But yeah, it has a real good impact. Now, from the old business that I was talking about from a few years back, well, one of the issues that we always had was customers coming to us and saying, "Oh, when's my product going to be ready?"
Yeah.
We're also handcrafting furniture. We handcraft a lot of furniture. We can do something like 30 table sets a month.
Wow.
Well, it takes time. So yes, I take your order now, but your order probably doesn't get processed and actually crafted until done. So, and that was a big time drain on resources for us sitting there at the computer saying, "No, it's not been started," or "Yes, it's only just been started." It's not been started, blah, 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 blah. Real pain in the bum. So one of the automatizations sends out, I think it's 8 to 9, I think it might be 10 emails, but it does it systematically at each particular date. So someone puts an order through.
Yeah.
It gets tagged as paid.
Yeah.
That, me or the computer marking as paid, because that could be automated as well.
Yeah.
Pay. That then automates another process that then says, send this person a text message to say welcome, send this person a email to say welcome, send this person to the email automation list.
Yeah.
Send this person to what's called the Trello boards, which is how we operate all our jobs. And then even that's split up into 3, because it goes into 3 different jobs. So it tells Sugar to then send out the welcome packs, tells me to look at deliveries, tells the guys if something needs to be done. But in that email process, it then, after something like 9 days, you'll just send them a quick email, and it's a story. It's not formatted in any way other than some crazy story you've never heard of about a tree that fell down in the forest.
And do they think you've written this just to them, right, AJ? They think this is like a personal email, don't they?
They do, yeah. In one of the emails, it actually writes, it goes through this bit of the story, and then it goes, "Oh, actually, what I'm trying to tell you is your timber's here," and I'm starting to "Oh, actually, while writing this email to you, I've been sat here eating a tub of these new Maltesers truffles. They're absolutely lovely." And then I go into a bit more, and the replies I get on that email, 99% of the people that reply to that actually say, "Them truffles are lovely. I've had them myself," or "I'm going out to buy those truffles. Thank you for the update."
So you've got like an automated email that's going out to the customer that they think you've sat down and written. Now they've got an affinity with you because they love the fucking truffles too. And even better than that, they're responding and emailing you back because they think you spent the 10, 15 minutes to email them.
Yeah. The only trouble is that is then you've got to spend 10, 15 minutes that email. But rather it being a headache email and you've got to figure everything out, you get a bit more repertoire with the customer. And that's a big thing for me, even when I'm delivering, is I will talk to the customer, I'll get them laughing, I'll get them talking and going through things. And you earn more business that way, and you earn more trust with them. And the more friendly you can be with these people, it's a good thing. And that's exactly why it's worth doing it.
I guess then it doesn't matter, AJ, how busy you guys are in the workshop, or if you're out on deliveries, you can be out on deliveries and still have 100% confidence that stuff is happening in the background without you having to sit there and write it. It just goes out there. Well, it doesn't get sick. It just keeps working, right?
It just keeps working, yeah. One of the other automatizations is what's called the ManyChat stuff that's on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when people come to my Facebook page and they click on message me, the first port of call they get is the chatbot. And they think it's written like me.
Yeah.
But I can sleep 2 o'clock in the morning and these people are choosing what top they want, what legs they want, what chairs they want, what benches they want, and they get a customized price at the end of it while I'm just dreaming about whatever car I want to buy next. And
what what I really like here, AJ, is that you mentioned there as once this order comes in, that I know you're using Trello, but actually as you, as the business owner that's got staff working for you, that you don't need to worry about that if you're out on the road, in terms of delegating the next steps to the staff. So the system, all right, I think it automatically assigns tasks for Sugar and the other guys to do, so that again, that no matter where you are, you've got the control and everything's happening, and the guys are working and not sat there twiddling their thumbs.
Correct. Yeah, there's a list for everything. There's a list for deliveries, there's a list for all the welcome packs, there's a list for all the different jobs. The jobs are all categorised, whether they're bespoke, normal table sets, tables with chairs, beds, whatever. And they just literally work from the list up, down. And what they do is they've each got what's they call their own table. So there's an Alan table, there's a Simon table, a table, etc., etc., etc. And that job, just they move it manually to their table when they're working on it, and we can see what it is. Then it gets moved to, say, needs finishing or waiting materials, etc. So the person that's in charge of ordering materials or finishing can say that needs finishing. Let's grab that one from the top. Let's concentrate on that one. Let's move it over to dispatch. Then it comes into, obviously, the delivery team to have a look at how they're going to get that to the customer type thing. All automated. And while I'm sleeping, while I'm away, while I'm out delivering, eating lunch, I know the guys have always got something to do because the computer has told them how to do it, really, in that sense.
Well, it's like Amazon level systems in like a business, which is like, it's amazing, isn't it? In terms of like how much ability that gives you to outcompete, outmarket, be out efficiency of everyone else there, which is, it's phenomenal achievement, man. And seeing you go through that, brilliant. In fact, I want to touch quickly, AJ, because you said there that this is all happening while you're going about dreaming about cars. So I know I've shared the story over there. I think it was just before Christmas. We got like a message from you in terms of the success you've been having. Talk us through what you went and purchased, AJ.
I went and purchased. I'm very set in the ways in the sense of if I like something, I like something. I do a lot of research into big purchases and stuff. So I've been looking at cars for a while. And obviously, the old company, I probably could have afforded it, but I was saving up for it and I didn't quite have enough money. And when we had this trouble, we had to, all my savings went into that. Yeah. But yes, I built it all back up again. I built the savings up. And one of the cars that I was really interested in buying was what is called a Mercedes-Benz CLA 220 AMG Sports. Right. This thing is rapid. And the fuel bill is quite expensive.
That's got no idea about cars, like Chicken Hawaii, that's my sort of fucking level, but it sounds cool, man. Keep going.
Yeah, so I think it was then back into November last year, and we did an awesome promotion again with me on video, promoting the Black Friday stuff, and a hell of a lot of money came through the door, and it was kind of one of these things where I can actually achieve this now. Do I do it? Do I not? And I spoke to Simon, actually, one of the guys who's a long-time friend, and he said, he says, just do it. Just, you deserve it. Just go and get this car. So he actually drove me to the dealership as well. That car that night, paid the £30 in tax, which was awesome as well, because it's an eco thing, even though it goes so fast. And at that particular night, I drove home in a car I've been dreaming about owning for probably 2 or 3 years.
Mate. It's amazing. I know when you shared the picture with me, I'm such a big believer in terms of you can do some amazing stuff all the time, especially when you're running a business on your own, and you don't get that pat on the back from other people because no one necessarily understands what the fuck's going on up here and what it takes to work. So I think the ability to reward yourself sometimes and to be able to share that success with other people is fucking awesome, man. And I think it's absolutely essential in terms of what we're doing. And oh man, yeah, it's cool. It made my day when I got that message. I was like, this, my friend, is what it's all about. So you mentioned there, like the sort of like the automation there, AJ, like completely not a game changer in terms of how that's going. Talk me through if there's someone watching this now and they're like, right, we've got the business to where we think there's like, how do I take this thing to the next? What's like your one thing that you would recommend to someone to be like, right, fuck, this is the thing that you've got to do to keep this thing scaling, to keep this thing moving, and to take this thing to the next level?
I would say it's putting your foundations in place beforehand. It's seeing your goal, and when you get to a certain, let's say, just a certain point of one of these goals, a changing point, it's not to just wing it then. It's think about it before. So one of the things that I did is when I came to up in this business, is I knew at the point when we scale that I'm going to need more space, and that space became available. So I just got it. I didn't need the space at the time. I just got it. The same things about the automation. The great thing about the automation is I think I pay something like £150 out a month for all these automations. Yeah. And that actually saved me 2 employees.
Fucking crazy.
Wow. Saving there. Yeah. So And one of these foundations, putting these foundations in place, is the software and the automation.
Yeah.
On that, I don't care if you're only taking 1 order a day, 2 orders a week, or whatever. If you can automate it now, and that's automated, you could take 20 orders a day.
Yeah.
And it's all automated. So the only bit that you then need to scale is the actual production side of things, and most people have got that in play anyway.
That's amazing. And like you say, it's sometimes you don't necessarily think that you need the systems or the processes until the automations, until you're too far in, and then you're sort of fucked anyway, don't you? You're sort of like, shit, I'm now trying to play catch up. Whereas if you can put those things into place, starting with the end in mind, it means that you've got the framework and all that sort of stuff in there, which it's very, very smart, AJ, and really, really cool. Really cool.
My business plan obviously is to own, as you know, a few more workshops around the country. Workshop. And that all kind of relates into my past experience and how I want this to go. But with what the automatizations I've got in place now, I know that, especially with the Trello in place and stuff, once I've got the next workshop, I need to worry that, there's another 20 more orders coming in the door every month or whatnot. The automatization's dealing with it. I know that I can sit in a headquarters, probably this office when it's turned into a room, and I can just sit on Trello or whatever system we're using at the time. And I can go to that particular workshop on Trello and see that the Matey Balls there is making that table, and Twatchy Content there is making that particular piece. And I'm not there. And that in itself is a big mind thing, because you're still in control and you're not there, but it's in place now. So I don't have to worry about it then. I don't have that headache of trying to implement something when we've got 30, 40 orders coming in, which is more difficult than implementing when you've only got 1 or 2 orders coming in. Because you can use them as your testing platform. Not if something goes wrong, it's only 2 orders, not that's the big place, it works. And once you've got it working, that's it. You scale it yourself. There's no more scaling to do, because the computer will just deal with it.
It's so true that, AJ. You talk there about like in terms of like what we go on here about with the fellowship, we always talk about implementation, execution, and the other thing that we talk about a lot on in terms of like once you got those things executed, that forgotten thing a lot of the time is sort of like the association and having that support network around you, and perhaps the other like-minded individuals that get what it's like to try and balance running a business, being a husband, and all this sort of other shit that's going on. Talk us through in terms of the fellowship. I mean, what sort of impact having those people around you in sort of like the second instance of the business, how that sort of changed perhaps your mindset, your mentality, and how you push things forward? What sort of difference has that made?
It's made a lot of difference, really. Yeah, the fellowship is full of all positive people, like-minded people who's more than likely been through what you've been through. So in that sense, beforehand, I've worked for myself all my life, and I know 24-hour job. I knew, it was a 24-hour You leave your work premises, you go home, you're still on the computer, you're still emailing customers, you're still trying to get that next bill paid. With the fellowship and things like that, you can see all these people that's been there, that's done the automatizations, and that's clawed back their time. And the biggest impact the fellowship's had on me, other than the positivity from all your members and the help and support you can get from you and Emma, is I now work when I want to. I turn up to the workshop sometime 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I leave the workshop. I think yesterday I went to them for free. I don't work weekends anymore unless I want to. And I relatively safe knowing that even though I'm not a business, even though my phone's turned off, that it's surviving. Not just surviving, it's thriving. I know it's safe. You don't need to be in your business 24/7, because that's how you do lose your family time and stuff. So I can now spend the weekends with Sugar and the little one.
So AJ, so talk me through that. So in terms of you being like, right, fuck it, I don't necessarily have to be there. So what was not necessarily the catalyst, but what sort of like changed in your head to be like, I can take back control, I can get control. What I guess what made you make that decision? And then once you'd made that decision, like how quick were you to be like, right, fuck it, this is the rules of the game, this is how I'm going to play it, and this is what's going to happen from now on? Right.
Well, this is a bit of a weird one. I wanted it for a while. Obviously, ever since I met you guys and seen that first documentary, it was something obviously I want to try and do, because it was having an impact on my family relationship anyway. So what made me drive towards it, and I didn't think I'd be able to achieve it so soon, was the thought of, I can actually have a bit of a mind break from my work. I can actually spend a bit more time with family, and that driving and seeing what happens. It's an odd one, but we're with my little one. It's a stepdaughter.
Yeah.
And I would come home, say 7 o'clock at night time after I've been crafting whatever, table, worktop, whatever. And it's like, yeah, good night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've seen nothing of it.
Yeah.
We never really spent much time together because I was always working.
Mm.
And I think I had a bit of time off for a week or so for a holiday. I spent a lot of time with her. What I actually noticed was Winter was actually coming to me more, speaking to me more,
Wow.
trying to play with me more and being more loving towards me. And I thought, well, hang on a minute, she's not like this normally. What's happened? And hang on a minute, what's happened is I'm not working. My time is directed to these two guys.
Yeah.
And then about a month later, after the holiday, I think it was about 2 months later actually, I was a little bit naughty and I had a lot of time off. I let people get on with it.
Yeah.
I was bored.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time laying in bed or on top of my bed with sugar, just watching crap on TV, and I quite enjoyed it. And I thought, well, obviously, I'm not a TV person, but I quite enjoyed myself. And I went back to work the week after, and I kind of looked around and thought, where's the fire? Where's the damage? You know, this thing survived. There's nothing around here that I could complain about that I need to know. It worked. So, okay. Bugger it. And now the biggest thing was the last 2 weeks of December, working into December. Now we had an issue with suppliers. We needed to get 69 chairs out in 2 weeks because the supplier was a bit of an awkward person. Same with the legs. We had an issue with the legs for the tables because we make that many. We can't make them in-house anymore. Yeah. We subcontract that out. And I think there was a 2 weeks delay with the legs as well. So we had 2 weeks to make, I think it was 100 and something pieces of furniture. And I thought, that's it. I'll make till 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock every night. And what I actually did is I got to 5 o'clock, looked at the clock and thought, fuck this, I'm going home. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It came, I looked at the clock, it's 5 o'clock, fuck this, I'm going home, I'm tired. Yeah. And I did that for the whole 2 weeks, shitting myself still, thinking, tell myself off, because I hadn't done this work, but every single job that needs to go out went out. Yeah, I still went home at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that was,
how many people died during that project? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's amazing. And AJ, that's really cool, isn't it? That you can get that to that place where you go, actually, fuck it. I've got the confidence. I've got the control to be able to be like, right, now is the time that I'm finishing. Shit's still happening. It's still going on. And I can, if I want to, you've got the choice to be like, fuck it, today I'm watching Netflix. Not that that's what you end up, but you know, it's all about choices, isn't it? And options.
Yeah. It is, it really did change my life. And that particularly, even though that was a very critical time of my business, because a lot of customers was under a guarantee that they would have it by Christmas. So that's a lot of money I'd have to find and return. And yes, it did scare me to think, let's just go home and the next day I might have to work till 10, but I'll do it. But then I didn't do it. But like you say, no one died. Everyone got the furniture. It actually still happened. So it proved its point. And from that day now, I usually go home at 5 o'clock, if not before.
Brilliant. And have you noticed that? I mean, you mentioned winter there, AJ. In terms of the impact that that's had on other areas of life and the home life, have you noticed? How quickly did you see those things sort of change? Like once you started pulling yourself out and taking a little bit more of that control back, like how quick did you notice those relationships changing around you? It
was virtually instant there. I say a week or so different. Katrina always, when she interacts with me more now and we talk more, and she's a 6-year-old, she's, you know, you have some stupid conversations with her. It's like, why am I talking like this to a 6-year-old? We would talk a lot more. She comes in, she'll give me cuddles for no reasons, tell me she loves me for no reason. She'll run in the bedrooms in the mornings and jump all over the bed and stuff. And there's a big difference. And one of the things that I have noticed is they're a little bit spoiled. Because the past couple of days I have been working a lot at night time, is because I've got a book launch coming up and I wanted to get everything sorted out. So the past couple of nights I have really spent a lot of time on the laptop just finalising these things. And 2 days out of 3 months isn't bad. And I think last night before, it come to about 10, 11 o'clock and I've shut the laptop down, put it down, and Sugar turned around to me and she says, you've come off that now, can I have some attention? I'm I've spoiled you. You've got too much, haven't you?
That's funny, isn't it? Because you don't. I think sometimes you don't realise not how deprived, but how much they appreciate that attention. And then it's those comments, isn't it? Then when they realise that it's not there, it's amazing. And AJ, It's really, really cool. And I know you've got like a ton of stuff on, so I'm conscious of the time here. I don't want to keep you, but I think what you've done has been absolutely amazing. It's an absolute pleasure to have you, as always, as part of the fellowship, as part of the One Man Empire community, as a wider thing. And I'm so excited for what's going to be in store. We can do what you've done over the last 12 months. This thing's like the world is your oyster. So AJ, huge thank you for being with us today. I really appreciate it, mate. And thank you so much. And we'll speak to you, my friend, ever so shortly.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.